Newark, New Jersey is no stranger to protests. But on May 9, 2025, the city witnessed something extraordinary. Its own mayor, Ras Baraka, found himself on the front lines, not as a leader but as an arrestee. The scene? A heated demonstration outside a newly opened ICE detention center in nearby Elizabeth. Protesters, outraged by the facility's existence, demanded the release of detainees. They cited inhumane conditions. They decried the criminalization of immigrants, and at the heart of it all stood Baraka, a man who has long championed the rights of the most vulnerable. Baraka's arrest sent shockwaves through the city and beyond. Videos of the incident quickly went viral. They showed a chaotic scene, with Baraka engaged in a heated exchange with federal officials. Protesters chanted his name, their cries of "Let him go" echoing through the streets. The images were stark, a powerful symbol of the escalating tension over immigration in America. This wasn't just another protest, it was a mayor putting his body on the line for his beliefs. It was a city standing up to what it perceived as injustice. And it was a moment that would reverberate far beyond the confines of that ICE facility. Ras Baraka's activism didn't begin with this protest. It's woven into the fabric of his being. The son of renowned poet and activist Amiri Baraka, he grew up surrounded by social justice movements. His commitment to immigrant rights in particular runs deep. Since taking office in 2014, Baraka has made Newark a sanctuary city. He's implemented policies that limit cooperation with ICE. He's spoken out against the Trump administration's immigration policies, and he's been a vocal advocate for the rights of undocumented immigrants. Baraka sees the fight for immigrant rights as a fight for human rights. He understands the fear and uncertainty that many immigrants face. He recognizes their contributions to the city's cultural and economic fabric, and he refuses to stand idly by while they're marginalized and demonized. His arrest at the ICE facility protest was not a departure from his principles, but rather a culmination of them. It was a testament to his unwavering belief in the dignity and worth of all people, regardless of their immigration status. The protest outside the Elizabeth Detention Center was tense from the start. Hundreds of people gathered, their anger and frustration palpable. They carried signs, chanted slogans, and demanded justice for those imprisoned inside. Baraka arrived with a delegation that included members of Congress. They were scheduled to tour the facility, a massive complex run by the private prison company, GEO Group Inc. But upon arrival, federal officials blocked their entry. What happened next is disputed. Some reports say Baraka attempted to force his way into the facility. Others claim he engaged in a heated argument with officials, refusing to leave when ordered. Whatever the exact details, the result was the same. Mayor Ras Baraka, the leader of New Jersey's largest city, was placed under arrest. The images of Baraka being led away in handcuffs are striking. They capture a moment of raw emotion and defiance. They also raise questions about the use of force against elected officials and the right to protest in America.
Section 4 social media explodes, support, skepticism and memes. As news of Baraka's arrest spread, social media erupted. The hashtag #FreeBaraka quickly began trending nationwide. Supporters praised his courage and commitment to justice. They shared videos of the arrest, expressing outrage at the treatment of a democratically elected official.
However, not everyone was impressed. Critics accused Baraka of grandstanding, of using the protest as a publicity stunt for his gubernatorial campaign. They argued that his actions were reckless and irresponsible, undermining the rule of law. Of course, it wouldn't be social media without the memes. Images of Baraka's arrest were photoshopped onto everything from get-out-of-jail-free cards to scenes from The Shawshank Redemption. Some found humor in the absurdity of the situation, while others used it as a way to comment on the larger issues at play. Love him or hate him, one thing was clear. Ras Baraka had become the face of resistance against ICE and its controversial detention practices.
Section 5. The legal battlefield. What happens next? In the immediate aftermath of his arrest, Baraka was charged with trespassing and disorderly conduct. He was released from custody a few hours later, but the legal battle was just beginning. Baraka's attorneys maintain his innocence, arguing that his arrest was politically motivated. They claim that he was wrongfully denied entry to the ICE facility and that his actions were protected under the First Amendment.
The government, on the other hand, argues that Baraka broke the law by ignoring lawful orders from federal officials. They claim that he escalated the situation and that his arrest was necessary to maintain order. The case is likely to be lengthy and contentious, with potential implications for protest rights and the relationship between local and federal authorities. It's also sure to be a major issue in Baraka's gubernatorial campaign, with both supporters and detractors using it to bolster their arguments.
Section 6. Beyond Newark, a national conversation ignited. The arrest of Ras Baraka transcended the local news cycle. It became a national story, sparking conversations about immigration, protest, and the role of elected officials in challenging unjust policies. Civil rights groups seized on the incident as an example of the government's overreach in its pursuit of immigration enforcement. They pointed to the increasing militarization of ICE and the growing number of detention centers as evidence of a system that prioritizes detention over compassion.
Conservative commentators, however, condemned Baraka's actions, accusing him of inciting lawlessness and disrespecting the authority of law enforcement. They argued that his arrest was a consequence of his own reckless behavior, and that it sent a dangerous message to others who might consider similar acts of defiance. The incident also reignited the debate over sanctuary cities, with some calling for greater cooperation between local and federal authorities, while others argued that it was the duty of local governments to protect their immigrant residents, regardless of their status. Section 7. Courage Under Fire, the legacy of a mayor's protest. Regardless of the outcome of the legal proceedings or Baraka's political future, one thing is certain: his arrest at the ICE facility protest will leave a lasting impact. It will be remembered as a moment when a mayor stood shoulder to shoulder with his constituents, putting his own freedom on the line for the rights of the most vulnerable. Baraka's actions serve as a powerful reminder that leadership is not about wielding power, but about using it to uplift and empower others. It's about standing up for what is right, even when it's difficult, even when it's unpopular, and even when it means risking arrest. In an era marked by division and uncertainty, Ras Baraka's act of defiance stands as a beacon of hope and inspiration. It reminds us that we all have a role to play in the fight for justice, and that even in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds, ordinary people have the power to make a difference.